Did you know that nearly 70% of people fear public speaking more than death? That's right. It's a staggering statistic that shows just how nerve-wracking it can be to share your thoughts with an audience. But here's a surprising twist: speaking slowly can actually help you become a more persuasive speaker, even if you're nervous. Research tells us that the average listener can only process about 125 to 150 words per minute. When you speak too fast, your audience struggles to keep up, and they might miss your key points. In fact, a study found that speakers who take their time are viewed as more trustworthy and credible. Imagine gaining your audience's trust simply by slowing down. In this video, we'll explore why speaking slowly makes you more persuasive. From the power of pauses to the psychology of pacing, we'll uncover strategies that can transform your communication skills. Get ready to learn how to command attention, build trust, and ease your nerves, all through the art of speaking slowly. Let's dive in. Chapter 1: The Power of Pause. How silence speaks volumes. When you think of persuasive speakers, you might imagine fast talkers. But research shows that speaking slowly, and using strategic pauses, can actually make you more convincing. Silence is powerful because it gives your words space to sink in. According to a study by Harvard Business Review, speakers who paused more frequently were seen as more thoughtful and trustworthy. Why? When you pause, you're giving your listeners time to digest your message. Their brains have more time to process what you're saying. This makes your points more memorable and impactful. Plus, silence creates suspense. Think about it: when someone suddenly stops speaking, don't you lean in to hear what comes next? Many people fear pausing because they feel it makes them seem unsure or nervous. But the opposite is true. Pausing strategically shows confidence. You're in control of the conversation. Steve Jobs was a master of this. He often paused for effect during his speeches, creating a sense of anticipation. In fact, a well-timed pause can speak louder than words. Next time you're delivering a presentation or making a point, try pausing after key statements. Let your message breathe. You'll notice how much more powerful it becomes. Chapter 2: Winning the Mind Game. Tapping into psychological patience. Did you know that the average person can only process about 125 to 150 words per minute? But we often try to speak much faster than that. When you rush your words, people struggle to keep up. Slowing down helps your audience stay with you, both mentally and emotionally. It's about syncing your speech with their ability to absorb information. Psychologists refer to this as cognitive load. When you speak too fast, you overload your audience's brain. They get tired and start to miss key points. Slowing down eases that load and helps people engage longer with what you're saying. Think of it like giving your listeners a mental breather. Daniel Kahneman, the author of Thinking, Fast and Slow, found that slower, more deliberate speech helps trigger System 2 thinking. This is the part of the brain responsible for deeper, analytical thinking. If you want people to truly consider your argument, slow down. It helps them process complex ideas more clearly. This strategy is especially useful in debates or discussions where you're presenting new information. Give your audience the gift of time, and they'll reward you by thinking more carefully about what you're saying. Chapter 3: Voice Sculpting. Crafting clarity with every word. Articulation is everything when it comes to persuasion. Speaking slowly allows you to enunciate each word clearly, ensuring that your message is delivered without confusion. Imagine trying to understand someone who's rushing through their words. It's frustrating, right? When you slow down, clarity naturally improves, and your ideas shine through. A fascinating fact from Stanford University shows that listeners are more likely to trust a speaker when they can clearly understand every word they say. It's not just about content, it's also about delivery. Slurred words or mumbling can make you sound less credible, even if your message is solid. Slower speech also allows you to emphasize the key points. Think of it like sculpting. You're shaping your message, highlighting what matters most. For example, you can slow down just before a crucial statistic or fact, drawing attention to it. As a result, your audience will be more likely to remember it. Former President Barack Obama was known for his deliberate, clear speaking style. His measured pace allowed him to convey complex ideas in a way that felt simple and digestible. He often slowed down at pivotal moments to give his words extra weight. You can do the same. Take your time with the important points. Your audience will thank you. Enjoyed this part? Hit subscribe and let's keep the video rolling. Chapter 4: Magnetic Influence. The surprising link between slow speech and trust. Trust is crucial in any conversation, especially when you want to persuade someone. Speaking slowly can significantly enhance how trustworthy you appear. Research shows that people perceive slower speakers as more honest and sincere. This perception is key when you're trying to win over an audience. A study published in the journal Social Influence found that speakers who took their time were seen as more credible. Listeners were more likely to believe them compared to fast speakers. Why is this? It's simple: when you rush, you seem anxious or unprepared. Slowing down conveys confidence and assurance. One interesting fact is that in high-stakes environments, like job interviews or negotiations, pacing can make a huge difference. A slow, deliberate style creates an impression of thoughtfulness. Think about how you feel when someone speaks quickly during an important conversation. It's hard to focus on their message. Famous leaders often utilize this strategy. For instance, Maya Angelou once said, "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." Slower speech allows you to connect emotionally, making your message resonate. Next time you're in a persuasive situation, remember, a calm and steady voice builds trust. It shows you care about the conversation and the people you're speaking to. Chapter 5: Command the room. Owning the stage through pace control. When you step onto a stage or enter a room, how you speak can command attention. Speaking slowly allows you to take control of the environment. It shifts the focus onto you and what you're saying, instead of how fast you're saying it. A report from the University of California suggests that speakers who control their pacing are often perceived as more charismatic. Charisma is not just about being likable, it's about holding attention. When you take your time, you can guide the audience's emotions and reactions. Slower speech also allows you to adapt your delivery based on the audience's response. If you notice people nodding along, you might want to emphasize your points. If they seem confused, a slower pace can help clarify your ideas. Flexibility in pacing can turn a good speech into a great one. Consider how powerful figures, like Oprah Winfrey, use this technique. Her deliberate pace engages listeners and makes them feel valued. She often pauses for effect, drawing people into her message. Remember, commanding the room is not just about volume, it's about presence. So, when you're speaking, use your pace as a tool. It can help you own the room and create an unforgettable experience for your audience. Don't forget to subscribe for more amazing content and exclusive updates.